right, this video is a little bit more help with target number 6, which is the last thing that we were working on that Friday that we were at school. And I went ahead and made a video from this. This was the target 5 and 6 practice worksheet that we did. I think this was maybe one of the very first things that we did on our e-learning. And a couple people had asked me for a little more help with target number 6. So I made a video, but I only talked about the first 3 problems. And then it seemed like people were struggling more with the problems at the end. So here's a little bit more help on target 6 before you do your screener today. So this one says the area of a square is 169 centimeters squared. Find the perimeter. So the first thing I do is I look for the area formula for a square, and I've got 2 to choose from. If I'm looking for the perimeter of my square, what I'm really going to be doing is adding up all those sides. So let's see if I can get this to make more of a square. Decent. Okay, so if I'm going to add up all the sides, I think I would use this formula, area equals side squared, would be better. I plug in that the area was 169 equals side squared. Then I would take the square root of both sides, and I would find that the side is 13. But in a square, everything is the same. So my perimeter ends up being 4 times 13, or 52 centimeters. No squared because perimeter is just adding up the sides. I'm not multiplying sides together. Next one says find the diameter of a circle that has an area of 625 pi meters squared. So area of a circle, pi r squared. Plug in for my area. I can divide both sides by pi. So that gives me 625 equals r squared. I'm going to solve that by taking the square root, telling me that r is 25. But they didn't ask me for the radius, they asked me for the diameter. So if I think of my circle and I think about a diameter, isn't that really 2 of the radius? So 25 times 2 gives me 50 meters. Again, it's just a length, so I wouldn't put square units here. All right, number 6. Find the area of a circle that has a circumference of 12 pi kilometers. So circumference was 2 pi r. Have you noticed the very first thing that I do is I figure out what equation I have the information for. I copy that equation down from my formula sheet, both sides of the equation. That's really important that I copy down the entire equation. A lot of times we just work with the right side, but for these kind of problems on target 6 with the missing dimension, you have to really work with the whole equation. All right, so then I plug in what I know. 12 pi equals 2 pi r. I divide by pi. So that gives me, 12 equals 2r. Divide by 2. R equals 6. But they didn't want just the radius, they want the area. So now area is pi r squared. Pi times 6 squared. So that's 36 pi. The area is always square units, right? So kilometers squared. Okay, number 7. Find the area of a circle that has a circumference of 32 pi yards. So this one's pretty much the same. Circumference is 32 pi. So 32 pi is 2 pi r. Divide by 2. 16 equals the radius. Area pi radius squared. 16 squared is 256 pi. Okay. Number 8. Let's see. The area of a rectangular garden is 75 feet squared. The length of the rectangle is 15 feet. So that's the length. I'm going to try and find the width, and then I'm going to try and find the perimeter after that. Area is length times width. 75 is 15 times the width. Divide by 15. 5 is my width. Now perimeter means I have to add up all the sides. So I've got 15, then 5, then 15, then 5. And I get 40. Again, it's just perimeter, so I don't use units squared. Last one. Rhombus has a perimeter of 300 centimeters. If one diagonal is 24, find the area of the rhombus. Well, in a rhombus, every single side has the same length. So it's really 4 times my side to equal 300. Divide by 4. The side is 75. Well, the diagonal is 24. I'm going to split that right here into 12 and 12, right? The diagonals bisect each other and they make a right angle. Now I am focusing on this little right triangle. For that little right triangle, I have 12, I have 75, and I don't know b, but I can use the Pythagorean theorem. 12 squared plus b squared equals 75 squared. 144 plus b squared equals 5625. So then b squared would be, let's see here, subtract that. 5,481. Take the square root. And I get just about 74. Oops, 74. Okay, so when I go back to this picture, I've got 74 and 74. Well, that means my diagonal 1 was 24, right? That was the original. My diagonal 2 is 74 times 2. 148. Okay, kind of a lot of work to this problem. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take a look at the area for a rhombus, which is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So that's going to be 0.5. Oh my gosh, this calculator doesn't like to do that. Doesn't like to let me press in the bottom row. All right, 1/2 times 24 times 148. Uh-oh. I got 1,776 this time, and the last time I got 1,800. I'm pretty sure it really is 1,776 centimeters squared. All right, thank you. I hope that helps.